Step right out of Shinjuku Station's east exit with me, and we're instantly hitting a completely different, almost forgotten rhythm of Tokyo. Welcome to this explainer. Today we are taking a sensory night walk straight into Golden Gai, a legendary post-war drinking district. We're going to break down exactly how this microscopic urban space operates, how in the world it actually survived, and what it's really like to squeeze inside these dimly lit lanes. Okay, let's dive into this. Step out into Shinjuku, and the city does what Tokyo always does, right? It just towers over you. You've got these deafening pachinko parlors and massive 10-story neon skyscrapers everywhere. But then, almost without warning, the concrete just steps back. Suddenly, you find yourself staring at the mouth of 6 tiny lanes, completely packed with these little wooden 5-seat bars. It's a stark, sudden juxtaposition. It sits literally right on the edge of Kabukicho's chaos, but it operates on a totally different frequency. Rising from post-war rubble. How the alleys survived. Let's look at how this tiny patch of Tokyo held its ground while the rest of the post-war city was knocked down and rebuilt. Now, what's really interesting about this history is the incredible evolution here. Golden Gai's story kicks off in the literal rubble of 1945. It started as an informal black market. We're talking makeshift stalls, barter, pure survival economics. By the 50s and 60s, those stalls quietly transformed into intimate drinking spots, becoming hubs for Tokyo's raiders, filmmakers, and artists looking to escape the noise. But the real miracle? That's the 70s and 80s. During Japan's absolutely absurd property boom, developers wanted this prime real estate badly. So the bar owners literally formed night patrols. They fiercely defended their livelihoods against developers and arson and physically held the line. Architecture of the alleys, stepping into the 6 lanes. Let's just slow down for a second and mentally step into this space. Because thanks to those owners holding the line, you are walking through a living streetscape today. You're passing patched, repatched, 70-year-old wooden and sheet metal buildings, literally leaning on each other for support. And the sheer density of it all is mind-blowing. 280. Think about that. Crammed into 6 lanes that are barely wider than a standard hallway, are somewhere between 200 and 280 distinct individual bars. It's an almost incomprehensible concentration of nightlife. And this brilliantly illustrates the spatial whiplash of the area. 5, that is the maximum seating capacity for many of these establishments. Just 5 or 6 people at a time. We're talking about single-room bars that are smaller than your average kitchen. It's complete madness compared to the roaring megacity just a few blocks away. Because of this insane layout, every single door is a completely new, highly specific micro-world. You might squeeze into a jazz bar with 3 stools. Right next door, a horror movie-themed den. Keep walking, and you'll find a literary salon backing directly into a closet-sized karaoke room. It's like a giant puzzle. Hand-lettered menus are taped outside, often only in Japanese, and there's no set route to follow. The absolute joy of it is in those unplanned elbow-to-elbow encounters, catching an orange glow against the dark wood, following a snatch of music, and doubling back down shoulder-width staircases just to find these spots. But you know who actually creates these worlds? Well, behind almost every hand-lettered menu and narrow counter is a single proprietor, the master or the mama-san. They are the welcoming soul of that specific doorway. Many of them have run that exact same tiny room for decades. They set the unique tone, the personality, the whole vibe of the room. The experience you have inside is completely dictated by them. The unwritten rules, Golden Gai runs on etiquette, not signage. Let's see how this builds. Because when you metaphorically step inside one of these tiny bars, you really need to understand exactly how to act. If you ever find yourself in these alleys, here are your actionable takeaways. First off, cover and seating charges are expected on top of your drinks. It's totally standard, so don't argue it. Second, space is incredibly precious. Lingering over a single beer for 3 hours? Massive faux pas. Drink, talk, and keep moving to make room. Third, cash is still king. And finally, if you look inside and all 6 seats are taken, you wait outside. You never, ever push your way in. So the crucial point is really this idea. It's closer to the etiquette of visiting someone's home. These aren't just commercial bars. You are quite literally stepping into the master or mama-san's living room. The etiquette isn't meant to be restrictive. It exists to preserve that deeply personal, intimate connection. Time travel in Tokyo, a living streetscape not preserved behind glass. Golden Gai isn't a museum. It's a working neighborhood that actively fought to survive earthquakes, firebombing, actual fires, and immense pressure to modernize. And what they've successfully done since the 1950s is honestly a kind of magic. It's a simple formula. Step 1, put strangers in a tiny room. Step 2, pour a drink. Step 3, talk until 2 a.m. It strips away all the cold anonymity of the modern metropolis and brings everything down to its warm human core. We live in an era where cities constantly demolish and rebuild at a massive scale. But Golden Gai, it proves the profound value in the cramped, the old, and the fiercely independent. It really makes you wonder, in a world racing to rebuild, what do we actually lose when we lose the tiny rooms?